I'm going to risk my life and try my best." 10 out of 10 people immediately got up and rushed over to her, taking her to any corner of the counter as she pleased. We walked around in a circle and made a lot of gains. We all found them unsatisfactory dance partner. Although I don't dance, I still had a lot of fun. I had a long chat with a fat girl and said she looked very much like Hepburn. A group of acquaintances with white belts, including some beautiful girls, finished dancing and sat nearby. I walked over to try my luck, and even after chatting and laughing for a long time, none of the men in the group were interested, and they were all quite indifferent. Seeing that there was no chance, I found a step for myself, walked down the stairs, and walked away. As soon as I walked away, I heard a woman ask a man who had spoken to me who I was. The man said to her, "Silly, who knows who he is?" I suddenly felt very stimulated and my mood dropped drastically. The fat girl came up to me with a smile. I didn't like her anymore. I hid alone and found a chair to sit down and smoke. Through the gaps between the bodies of the people standing in front of me, I looked at the various weak and slender feet moving around in the dance floor. I deeply felt that life is impermanent and that feasts must be inevitable. Scattered. A girl with a sculptural face looking far away sat alone in a secluded corner at the other end of the market, quietly watching the dance outside the circle of people, as if she was outside the hustle and bustle. The lights, music, and dance steps of the dance hall were changing rapidly, but she remained motionless. I stood up and walked towards her. The closer I got, the more graceful and elegant she became, which was refreshing in this fishy and smelly place. She noticed me walking toward her, her eyes sparkling. I stood next to her and said to her, "Look at how drunk these people are." She smiled brightly, like the tide receding and revealing her ears. I saw her pink gums and teeth like mahjong tiles. I placed the fat girl in the small pine forest in front of the building, pointed to the only window upstairs, with a light on and said to her, "As soon as the lights go out, you come up." I had to get the card players away first. "I'm cold." The fat girl said delicately, "What are you afraid of if we go up together? You don't want to be gang raped, do you?" I left the fat girl and stomped upstairs, opened the door and walked in while shouting, "Police, the police are here. Put down your things and sit still. We're not moving." There were 3 men sitting in the room wearing blue cotton coats without emblems, looking at me kindly. One of them greeted me, "You are the dialect, right? We have been waiting for you for a long time." Then he gave me a collective self-explanation on behalf of the others, "They are the police. Don't shiver. Why are you trembling?" I said I wasn't trembling. I was trembling not out of fear, but out of excitement. I asked the police if I was leaving right away. If I wanted to leave, I would pack my things right away. I had to prepare my own daily necessities for no one to visit the prison, so I had to bring them all. "Where do you want to go?" the policeman asked me. "To our place." No, we have no intention of receiving you." "What did you do to take the initiative?" No, I said I didn't do anything. I just couldn't figure out why the police came to see me in the middle of the night. I thought I could always explain clearly to the police what I had done and what I hadn't done. "We are very impressed by your trust in the Public Security Bureau." The policeman said, "Actually, it's not a big deal. We are looking for you to find out more about the situation. As long as I know." I patted my chest. "That was great. The policeman politely suggested to me that we all go inside and sit and talk. We were talking 1.5 miles away from the door, as if one of us was running away at any moment and the other was ready to chase us. I laughed loudly and walked into the room and sat down on the sofa. Then I jumped up and ran around looking for teacups, tea leaves, boiling water, making tea, unpacking cigarettes, sugar and melon seeds. I kept saying hello and joking to make myself a more comfortable place. Let the police. Stop your busy work, said a policeman. You are making me dizzy with your wandering around. We are not here as guests. The police asked me about a former friend of mine named Gao Yan. I told the police that I had not seen him for 10 years. 10 years ago, when we were just demobilized from the army, we hung out every day. Then he suddenly disappeared. I had asked about him, but none of our friends, including his brother Gao Jin, knew where he had gone, and no one had seen him again. There were various rumors about his whereabouts. The most popular one was that he made a fortune and bought a fake passport to go to the Philippines. Some people joked that he grew tobacco leaves in Luzon Island, and some people said that he joined the New People's Army. But this is all nonsense because no one has been to the Philippines. The police asked me when and where I last met him, who was there and what we talked about. I told the police it must have been summer, because we were all wearing short-sleeved shirts and sweating all day long. I was deeply impressed by the white ice cream trucks with awnings parked everywhere on the street. But considering that we were in the southernmost city of the motherland at that time, and the temperature difference between the north and the south of our vast country was so huge, so according to calendar customs, it might be spring. And it was still spring in most parts of our country. I told the police that at that time, a group of my buddies and I had just been demobilized from various branches of the armed forces. We had already changed into fashionable t-shirts on our upper bodies, and wore military trousers of different colors on our lower bodies. During those days, we had no worries and all we could think about was having fun. We were sitting around eating and drinking with smiles on our faces. We are eating all the time, constantly in restaurants in various environments. We must have been interesting and busy doing other things during those days, but when I think of those days, all that comes to my mind is eating, a series of vivid eating scenes. The time we ate in the open-air restaurant of a large patio-style restaurant was probably the last time Gao Yan and I met.